Hi guys, this is Sergio, the creator of ZbxWizz. In this tutorial, I will show you how to onboard a list of hosts from a CSV file. Here is a CSV file which I prepared to perform this demo. You can see it has a couple of columns. So we have a host name, an IP address, device type, location, an OS, SLA, and owner team. At the end, I want to have each host defined, having a template assigned um, by the OS type. In the case of the empty fields, I will use the ICMP monitoring template. Then I want each host to have assigned to it two host groups, one for the location and one for the device type. And I will also configure two tags, one for the SLA and one for the owner team. Okay, so now that we've seen the data, let's go ahead and do the thing. So I have here a new environment meaning that it's nothing loaded inside. So I will go ahead and import this CSV file. I already exercised a little bit before, so it's already selected, and now I'm just gonna load it, but it's not working. Okay, again, load, device inventory, load, and that's it. Now that I loaded the data, we need to create the API request to perform the creation of the hosts. I already prepared this stuff, so this is the template. Let's look at it closer. So we have a host, host name, and so on. What's important, this is the preview window where we can see how this template is being rendered. So like interpolated with the values from the table. But we must select a row first for this. I'm just gonna type here something, and what I get an error. So Y groups. I will replace this one with $7. So what you see here, by the way, you see here a few variables which are in this text. Host name, of course, it's the first column. Then location is the third one. Well, actually column number 4, but index 3. Then we have the device type and the host name. Here you can see I'm using the column names, but I could as well use the column indexes. So let me delete this first. Now you can see the interpolation was successful because we are not referencing any unknown values. Okay, and we get the preview of the request. But of course, this is not what I want, right? I also want to have the templates and so on. So for this, I'm gonna generate that. I'm gonna generate the template part of the request. Now, when creating a host through the API, the request looks something like this. Right, interfaces, groups, tags, templates, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and generate this part for the templates, this one for the tags, and this one for the groups. Okay, now for the tags, this one is the easy part. Tags, and I'm gonna have it like this. Tag, it's owner, and value is dollar owner underscore, sorry. Well, I could use the column index, but then I use the dollar in front of it, $6. Now, looks like I have an issue here with the syntax. No, the issue is where? It's here. Okay, and one more. Now it's okay, right? So I created this one. Now I need to add one more tag for the SLA. SLA, and I have this one underscore SLA. Yeah, this one is not right. Okay, so the tag part is done. Now the templates and the group IDs, it's a little bit more complicated because I need to retrieve the template IDs and the group IDs from Zabbix. Now let's, by the way, I can just close this now and the data will stay here. So I close it, and now if I go here to, to push, I can see everything is still there, right? So don't be afraid to close the window, you will not lose your work. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to load from Zabbix. I'm going to load all the templates. Now I can actually save this a request template if I like it. If I want to reuse it, I can save it. So I did that already for getting all the templates. So what you see here, why I put this limit, because by default, if I don't put this limit, it will return only the first 5 records. Why? Because sometimes maybe the way I did the request is wrong. You know, I forgot to put some parameter, or I put the wrong one, and then it's this risk to get all the records. You know, like imagine if you want to retrieve the items and you forget to filter, or in the filter you put some field which is actually not existing, then the Zabbix API will actually return all the items, which is huge. Okay, so then I just put a limit, a random limit, something big, because I know on my system I don't have that many templates. So execute. Okay, I have a problem. Import from Zabbix, host group. Yeah, it was not host group, it was request templates, get all templates, and this is template. Okay, I need to select the resource, right, which I'm pulling from Zabbix. Okay, and now I have all the templates here. Let me increase this a little bit. Okay, I don't want to go through the list because that's not the point. I don't want to copy manually. I'm going to use the transformation to retrieve the template ID. So as mentioned, the template ID, for retrieving the template ID, I'm going to use the field OS. I'm going to use the field OS. I'm going to search for templates which have the OS name in their name. All right. And for this, to move a little bit quicker, I already prepared this request, this transformation. So what I'm saying here, $4 is, as you can see here, column 4, column index 4, the OS. I could as well have written it like this, _OS, same stuff. And by the way, what you see here, the preview is done for the first row in the visible set. So if I somehow filter out some of the records, the transformations are always applied on the visible data set. Okay, so sheets is a special object which is returning all the sheets in the, let's do a little bit, sheets, and now I see here all the sheets which are in the current workspace. All right, and then I do sheet 2, right? Now, and I use the method called lookup to look up for the value. What exactly I'm searching for? I'm searching for, as mentioned before, for the OS $4, and where I'm searching it, on which column? On the first one, right? On column 0, and I want to receive back the value from column 1, right? Now, this is not working, right? We see a null, although I do have here somewhere in the template list something containing the Linux, because this search is like one-to-one, so it's just searching for a template named Linux. We don't have something like that. Then then I can create a regular expression to search for, regexp, and looking for 4. I'm looking for case insensitive. Okay, and now you see I received multiple IDs. Why? Because if I go here and search for Linux, you will see I have this one, this one, this one, right? This is not what I want. I just want, I have multiples, so I want only one of them, and I will just do it like this. I'm gonna copy this part and add it here. Oops. And like this. What am I missing? I'm missing the plus. We need the plus here. $4 of course it's not like this. Okay, so now I received, now I found out the template ID. If I do apply now, you'll see that in this case I get a lot of stuff, right? Basically, I think they're all of them. Uh, all of them which end up with by Zabbix agent active, right? I don't want all of them. I want to choose for this one where I don't have an OS specified. I want to choose a different one. I want to choose the ICMP template. So again, I go here because this one is already made. The first part I just showed you before. And this part is the one where I'm returning the ICMP template, the template ID of the ICMP. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see better, right? Okay, now I will apply, and okay, I still have something which is not properly working. Let's see, the Mac. Why? Mac. Yeah, because it's Mac OS, not only Mac. So I can just go ahead and update the name to Mac OS. And now I'm gonna go here and reapply the transformation. You see, again, everything which I written here stays there. So I can close the window, and when I'm back, my expression was still there. Also, if one of those expressions are, useful and are, I'm gonna reuse them again in the, or at least variations of them. I want to reuse them in the future. I can just save it, like by clicking here on the plus. I will not do this because I already have it saved, and I can retrieve it at a later time, right? Okay, apply, and now I have the column 7 populated with the template IDs. All right, let's go back to the push and create this tags, and then we have templates, right? And I'm gonna write here template ID and $7. Okay, so now I have also the template. What's left to be done is to take care of the groups. Now, for the groups, I could use the pull request. No, I will not use the pull request. What I could do is like this, right? Let's say I want to get the groups, the group IDs by doing this. I select all the rows and I do a pull. So basically, I'm searching in Zabbix for a group name, filter, not filter. I'm gonna do a search. Do a search for name location. Okay. Now let's see what do I get if I do this. Host. I will search for host group, which matches the location. Execute. Now I did not receive anything because you see the rows turned yellow. This means the request was not successful. And let's see what was the error. I can click here on the row menu, select the row info, and I go at the bottom of the screen and see the error. So not found. Basically, there are no host groups in the in my Zabbix installation which have these names, right? So what I'm gonna do, I can create them on the fly. How I'm gonna do this? By using another push request. By the way, we are still editing this, so I'm gonna need it at a later time. So I'm gonna save it here in complete host create. Okay, incomplete host create. So now let's create the request for creating the host group. Its name, and then it's the location. So I'm gonna name the group like this, location, and then the location name, location. Okay, it's not a host, it's a host group. Host group. Execute. Confirm. And you see that I was successful. Well, successful for some of them. Why? Because they are actually duplicate. Looks like, although this is the first one, this was the first one successfully executed, right? So it's blue. Now the other ones were executed at a later time, and because the host group was already created, we receive an error. We don't mind that. So now let's pull again. Let's pull again the data, and what do we get now? Now we get a very nice blue. Let's retrieve this. How do I retrieve it? By the way, you see here when I do the pull, we have this special data label. I'm going to retrieve the group ID for the location by using a transformation, and I will close this for the moment, and I access that data, the pool data, the pooled data, by like this: data that dot ZbX. Why dot ZbX? Because pool. You see, when I did the pool, I have this data label. This one is configurable. By default, it's set to ZbX. And all the data is now, all the data which was pulled is now available under this property. What I need from here, I just need the group ID. Group ID. Okay. So I'm also going to rename this this column, and I'm going to call it location group ID. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the device type, because as mentioned earlier, I want to have device types, device groups for the device types. I'm going to do again a pool, but this time I will use the not the location. What's the name? It's device. I'm lazy. I'm just going to write the index $2. Execute. So you see here, some of them are select. Some of them are blue, some of them are yellow. Yeah, yellow, because these ones had some errors. No, right? Errors meaning it was not found. Right? Let's go again to see what the error was about. Yeah, not found. How about here? Row info. This one not found. On which one I clicked? Row info. Yeah, not there. I need to look at the Zabbix group ID. Right? I have a device type switch. Okay. So first, I'm going to retrieve this part in column 9. Column yeah, group ID, it's okay. Column 9, apply. Now you see the ones which were not successfully retrieved, this one is null. And I can use now to filter out, why I don't have something here? Server. Yeah, look, this one. For this one, I have multiple records matched. Multiple group IDs match this name. So I'm gonna just manually edit it. I'll extract the ID manually and put it here. Okay. Now I'm gonna filter out the records for which I already have the device type group ID. Let me first rename this dev type group ID. Okay. Now I'm gonna filter them out and keep only these ones, because for these ones I'm gonna create the host groups. Again, Zabbix ops push name. This one is device type, and not location but device type. Okay. Execute, confirm, and they all have been created. Now to retrieve the new the host ID, the group ID, to retrieve the group ID, I can again perform a pull request like I did before, right? Like pull the by the name, but in the response that we received when creating this one, we received also the ID of the newly created group, and I can extract that one like this. Last response result group IDs 0, and that's it. Now I also have the device type group ID. I can remove the filter, clear, and let's go ahead and finally create the hosts. Push. I need to select the incomplete host create, and I need to create now the groups part. Groups. Group ID. It's location group ID. It needs a comma. Okay. Location group ID and device type group ID. Dev type group ID. Yeah. And that's it. See how it looks, the request. We have a host, we have a name, we have the tags, the templates, the groups, interfaces, and so on. So you see it's green. Green means it's valid. Well, it's valid as a JSON. Um, ZbxWizz is not validating if it is a valid API, Zabbix API request. So it's just validating if it's a valid JSON, that's all. So you bear the responsibility of writing a correct request here. You can always access the documentation pretty quick, really quick, by clicking on the question mark here, and it takes you directly to the operation which you want to do. Like we want to create a host, and there we are. So you can copy it from here as an example, which you can modify. Okay, so now I'm gonna execute, and let's see what do we get. Confirm, and nothing is working. Yay, what happened? Okay, so I'm pretty sure I did something wrong on the interface. IP main type DNS host create interface required for create type host ID. Okay, not the case. DNS port. Yes, I forgot the port. Port is the 150. Okay, and now it should work, hopefully. Yep, and it did, with one exception. So this one failed. Let's see why. Invalid params. So the address dynamic. Why? I will select only this one and see how the request is looking for this one. 192.168 main DNS use IP. I don't know. I'll just run it again. Same story. Yeah, looks like it was defined. So now I'll go in Zabbix and see what I get. You see, all of them are here. And that was it. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't hesitate to ask any questions. Subscribe to the mailing list to stay updated with whatever other tutorials I will make or other updates of the application. Thank you. Bye.